Good afternoon. This is the report of Group 2. The level of awareness. Number 1 is the conscious level. It consists of whatever sensations and experience you are aware of at a given moment of time. Ito yung mga bagay na alam natin kung ano yung ginagawa natin at sa ating paligid. We are conscious. Yung nakikita natin at alam natin ba? And then number 2 is the preconscious level. This domain sometimes called available memory. It encompasses all experiences. They are not conscious at the moment but which can easily be retrieved into awareness. Yung mga bagay na nakalimutan natin at saka bigla na lang natin naalala pag may mga bagay tayong nakikita or tinatanong tayo. Number 3, the unconscious level. It is the deepest and the major stratum of the human mind. This is made up of thoughts, memories, and primitive instinctual desires that are buried deep within ourselves, far below our conscious awareness. Trait approach. Trait approach identifies where a person might lie and continuum of various personality characteristics. For example, if they are talkative at home, they tend also to be talkative at work. Kung ano ang ugali mo ngayon, hanggang sa pagtanda mo, ganyan na yung ugali mo.
Kind of traits. According to Alport 1961, the following are the different kinds of traits. What is traits? Traits is a distinguishing quality or characteristic, typically one belonging to a person. First is the common traits. These are the personality traits that are shared by most members of a particular culture. Pag sinabi kasi natin particular culture, ito yung the beliefs, values, and behavior that constitute a people way of life. Second is the individual traits. These are the personality traits that define a person's unique individual qualities. Pag sinabi kasi natin unique individual qualities, ito yung means that you are one of a kind of person and no other person is exactly like you. Third is the cardinal traits. These are the personality that are so basic that all persons' activities relate to it. But Olaport said that only few people have cardinal traits. Fourth is the central traits. These are the core traits that characterize an individual personalities. Pag sinabi kasi natin core traits, ito yung your specific strengths, what you are good at, and or what you are, often praised by others. Central traits are the major characteristics of our personalities that are quite generalized and enduring. Pag sinabi kasi natin quite generalized, ito yung medyong pangkalahatan, at ang enduring naman ay yung nagtitiis. They form the building blocks of our personalities. Sila yung bumubuo sa ating mga personalidad. At ito rin proceed tayo sa Louis Goldberg's trait theory. Goldberg proposed a 5 dimensions personality model with a nickname of Big 5 or 5-factor theory. And they are as follow. First is the extraversions. These dimensions contrast such traits as sociable, outgoing, talkative, assertive, persuasive, decisive rather, and active with more introverted traits such as withdrawn, quiet, passive, retiring, and reserved. Pag sinabi kasi natin dito sa extraversions is yung mga taong may katangian ng palakaibigan, madaldal, may paninindigan at mapangikayat na katangian. So, dito naman tayo sa neuroticism. Excuse me. People high on neuroticism are prone to emotional instability. Pag sinabi kasi natin emotional instability, ito yung emotional na kawalang tatag. They tend to experience negative emotions and to be moody, irritable, nervous, and prone to worry. Dito naman kasi sa neuroticism, yung mga negatibong emosyon, irritable, nervyoso, at saka palaging nag-alala. Sila yung may mga katangian na ganito, yung neuroticism. Pangatlo, conscientiousness. This factor differentiates individuals who are dependable, organized, reliable, responsible, true, hardworking, and preserving from those undependable, disorganized, impulsive, irresponsible, careless, and negligent, and lazy. Dito naman sa conscientiousness ay yung mga taong maasahan, mapagkakatiwalaan, responsableng masinsinan, masipag, at mapapangalagaan mula sa mga hindi maasahang katangian, pabigla-bigla, at mga irresponsable, at higit sa lahat ay yung mga pabayang tao.
Agreeableness is a personality trait manifesting itself in individual behavior characteristics that are perceived as kind, sympathetic, cooperative, warm, and considerate. The example of agreeableness. Ang pagnanais na pasayahin ng iba ay isa sa mga pinakaraniwang halimbawa ng pagiging sumang-ayon Ang mga taong may personalidad na kaya-aya ay hindi nag-aatubiling ikompromiso ang kanilang sariling mga pangailangan upang mapanatiling masaya ang iba, na kung minsan ay maaaring gumawa ng paraan para sa mapanirang pag-uugali. That is the example of agreeableness. The next is openness to experience. Openness to experience describe a dimension of cognitive style that distinguishes imaginative, creative people from down to earth. And then the example of openness to experience ay ang aesthetic sensibility. Ito ang mga taong tumitimbang ng mataas sa pagiging bukas sa karanasan ay naantig ng lahat ng bagay na aesthetics, tulad ng mga anyo ng sining musika o mga nakaka-relax na natural na tanawin. Ang pagiging intelektual na mahusisa at uhaw sa kaalaman ay isang halimbawa ng openness to experience. Han-Ising personality traits. They have 3 elements, which is extrovert, introvert, and emotionally unstable. Extrovert. Extrovert, outgoing, overly expressive person. Example of introvert. Ang mga introvert ay madalas na inilarawan bilang masaya, positibo, masayahin at palakaibigan. Hindi sila malamang na mag-isip ng mga paghihirap, bagamat nakakaranas sila ng mga paghihirap at problema tulad ng iba. Ang mga extrovert ay kadalasang mas nagagawang ipaalam ito sa kanilang likuran. And then the next is introvert. Introvert is a shy, reticent person or a person who has more interest in themselves than others or has difficulty relating to people outside of themselves. The example of introvert. Introvert ay isang taong nakaupo sa isang sulok ng mag-isa at hindi nakipag-usap sa sinuman sa isang party. Kumbaga, wala siyang pakailam sa kanyang kapaligiran. Gusto nilang mapag-isa. That is introvert. The next is emotionally unstable. Emotionally unstable mean that your moods can be extreme and change very quickly. Some example of unstable emotion are extreme depression, anxiety, or irritability that might last for only a few hours or days. Usually in response to a stressful event, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger, intense, and boredom. 4 types of temperament: sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, melancholic. The sanguine personality is curious, creative, spontaneous, impulsive, goal-oriented, optimistic, and cheerful. A sanguine is capable of taking to new friends likely they have known them for a longer time. The next is choleric. The choleric temperament that we are used by ancient doctor to classify people in health condition. That is choleric. Phlegmatic. People with a phlegmatic personality are very agreeable. Phlegmatics could be described or cooperative, considerate, charitable, sympathetic, trusting, and warm. They like to express their feelings, sometimes dramatizing their experience, which is the evidence of high estrogen activity. The next is choleric. The choleric temperament that we are used by ancient doctor to classify people in health condition. That is choleric. Phlegmatic. People with a phlegmatic personality are very agreeable. Phlegmatics could be described or cooperative, considerate, charitable, sympathetic, trusting, and warm. They like to express their feelings, sometimes dramatizing their experience, which is the evidence of high estrogen activity. The next is melancholic. Melancholic person is typically very calm and quiet despite his or her powerful internal emotion. This individual often choose to hide their feelings, preparing to remain calm and quiet even during events that typically elicit extreme joy or anger in others. And the last is biological approach. The biological approach believes behavior to be as a consequence of our genetics and physiology. It is the only approach in psychology that examines throughout feelings and behaviors from a biological and physical point of view.